Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Gabi from Slap Punch Enterprise, back at it again. And, and today we are going to, I am going to be showing you how to create um, pretty much the process of creating a manga page or a comic page from start to finish, traditionally and digitally, both ways, however you want to put it. Is on this video. This video. I don't really do videos about teaching people how to do things anymore. Like that's not my style. But I wanted to showcase this video, and this video would be the last video I'll do for a while. Don't know how long. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna read this book that I got from Amazon today. So I'm gonna be reading this. This should be No Longer Human. If it's not, then I don't know what the hell it is, right? So yeah, I'm gonna be unboxing that, and so like I was saying, so yeah, it is gonna be the last video that I do for a while because I'm gonna start scanning in chapter 4, and I'm going to start filling in the black before anything, and then after I do that is when I am going to start going live again, grayscale and pages and stuff. So yeah, let's get to this. I'm rambling along a little bit too much. Let's open up this because I don't want for this crap to damage the book, pretty much. Oh, so yeah, it's No Longer Human. And here goes the book, right, by Junji Ito. My boy Junji Ito, No Longer Human. I've seen a couple of people do stuff. Recommend this book a lot, and it has a soft casing. This will be the front cover. Look how the front cover looks. Front cover looks dope. Back cover looks awesome. And inside it looks pretty dope as well. So yeah, that's some of the art, right? They might pull this down, but yeah, that's some of the art. So that's what's up. So yeah, No Longer Human by Junji Ito. I'm gonna be reading that. And let's spray some of this because you don't know who the hell's been touching the book, right? I don't want for that to be going on to anything else. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do when you're doing traditional, you want to find paper that you feel accustomed to, that you think that would help you out to do your manga, your comic, your graphic novel, whatever it is. Me, I use the Leader comic book paper. I use the Leader comic book paper. This is type A, meaning it has the blue ruler around the page, and its size is B4. It's pretty big. It's like really, really big. So it helps you out a lot to create panels, to create background, to have it straight and everything. So let me tell you the process that you have to do. So you get yourself a scanner if you're doing traditionally. If you're doing digitally, you don't need a scanner. If you're doing both, both ways, you draw traditional, ink traditional, or you just sketch traditional, and then you scan, then you need a scanner. And the scanner that I use is a Plus Tech. It's a Optic Slim 1180. It scans all the way to A3 paper, which is much bigger than the B4 paper that I have here. And yeah, so let's get to this. You have to go, after you get the scanner, you have to make sure that you go into the start and you look for something called Windows Fax and Scan, right? And the reason why you go to Windows Fax and Scan is because this is what's going to help you get whatever type of resolution you have, right? Whatever type of DPI. And let me put this on the stuff. Let me share the screen. Let me know if you guys can see it there or not. So yeah, so you go to Windows Fax and Scan. And the way I do it is, since I am going to be scanning this in for the why is this stuff blinking? All right, since I am going to be scanning this in for the sake of making a page, I go over to where it says new scan up here. You click on new scan. The color format, since you're doing it in black and white, you choose black and white. And when you choose black and white, this will erase all of the blue lines that's on the page. The blue lines do not exist anymore. Now, the file typing that I use is TIFF. If you want to color the pages, meaning, after you scan it black and white, you could use JPEG or PNG, and this will allow your program, depending on which program you use. I use Critter. It will allow Critter to let you color the actual pages, right? For this example, I'm going to use TIFF, and the resolution that I use is 600 DPI. Comes out pretty crisp. You could use 1200, you could use 300, whatever you're comfortable with. Go ahead and do it, and then you use scan. You can press preview before you scan, but I just hit scan, right? And for some reason, there's some weird like glitching thing going on that has never happened before until I, went into this program while using StreamYard. It takes a little while to scan the page, so you sit there and you do something else for a little bit or whatever. In this case, I'm gonna drink some water. So yeah, scan and commence. So yeah, so here goes the page. This is page 5 of page 15 of chapter 4. And the reason why I have the chapter number there and the page number so that I won't get lost. And this is how the page will look. Now, if I didn't scan it this way, you would actually see the blue lines if I were to scan it in color. And I'm gonna show you why I have these three little bullet marks or whatever you call it there on the side. And before we get to that, I'm gonna scan it to color now. Let me just I don't even know why I'm scrolling down that way, but whatever. We're here. So let me rename this, and I am going to rename it as Mila Mumbi, Chapter 4, Page 15. And I'm just going to name it Practice, right? Practice. Mila Mumbi, Chapter 4, Page 15, Practice. Boom. That's done. Now, let me go ahead to new scan. And then this time I'm going to scan it in color so you guys can see as a TIFF file as well. It doesn't really matter. For the sake of this video to show you about the coloring, let me just scan it in as a PNG, whatever. And I am going to go with the 600 DPI. That's the digital resolution. Let's hit scan. And you would see how this page, even though it's the same page, it will come out with the blue border with the rulers and everything so that you can see the difference. This is pretty much showing you both ways of how to do things. Takes a while to scan. And the page that I scanned, I didn't want for it to be spoilers, so that's why I did it that way. I don't know if I said that already or what, but that's why I chose the page that I chose. Yeah, it's doing some weird glitching stuff. It has never done this before until now with the whole StreamYard situation. I don't know. It seems like scanning in color takes a little bit longer. It's taking quite a while, right? Man, they're tripping. Bum, 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 bum. But yeah. Oh, also, you can the Plus Tech. I found it like for around 280 on Amazon. Currently, they have it for like around 3 something, close to 400. You can also get a Must Tech there's very few scanners that can support very large paper. I've seen people do it with like different like the copy paper as well, even with like the regular notebook paper with the blue lines. So yeah, it's if you can see here, you can see the blue lines that I'm talking about, right? And you can actually see like smudges around the lines that is on the paper because of how do you call it? And I don't know why it came out with that black line in the middle. I don't know what that is or what that's about, but whatever, right? It has those smudges because I was that's from the sketches of the pencil, and I erase everything. But sometimes you miss things. So when you go in it in black and white instead of color, you won't see those smudges because it's only picking up the blacks and the whites, and it makes the whiter whiter and the blacker blacker. And if you can see the ruler lines, the blue is all over the place because you can actually see. I don't know if you guys can see it on the phone or what, but yeah, it's there. And let me just go ahead and rename this as I don't know. Let's rename it. Let's put the Mida Mumbi. What's this? Chapter what? Chapter 4, page 15. Chapter 4, page 15, and let's have color on it. All right. Okay, so that's done. So after you guys have scanned your page, whatever it is that you want it for it to be scanned, then you go ahead and you opened up your folder. And within your folder, let me see if you can see it here. Within your folder, share screen. So within your folder, you can start seeing that it would pop up on scan documents whatever or whatever place that you chose for it to be redirected at. Since I didn't choose any place for it to be redirected, it pops up on scan documents. And let me see if we can see it here or not. Hold up. So after you go to scan documents, you can actually see the page here. So yeah, so you actually see, so yeah, so you can actually see the page here. Um, Both formats. Yeah, so that one came out with a black line. So you better watch out with those black line things. I don't know why it's scanned that way, but yeah, whatever. I'm gonna be erasing it either way. If you can see like the difference between both of them, the black and white one came out really black and white, and the color one came out kind of dingy looking. See? So yeah. All right. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open up the program that I use to color or to draw or whatever, right? And that program would be Critter. That's the one I use. So I'm going in Critter now. Show you the screen, the Critter. And this is what I use to actually complete everything. If you want to start to do your digital drawings, this is where you want for it to be. You open up new file and you choose, okay, so let me just do the new file situation, right? So yeah, new file, and it will show you animation, comic templates, design templates. You can use custom, you can use create clipboard, whatever you want, right? Or whatever it is that you're doing. So for the sake of the video, since we're going the traditional route, let's go in with the practice one, all right? So you go to your scan documents or whatever it is that you have the actual file that you want to scan, that you want to use after you scan. Take it and you drag it into Critter. And after you drag it into Critter, you would see the image pop up on Critter, which is taking some time. Okay, it's there. So now that we're on Critter, you see the entire layout. Right here, you have your colors. You can choose whatever it is that you want to choose. Since you're on TIFF, you can only use black and white. Black, white, and gray. That's the only thing it will allow you to use while you're on Critter. Different shades of black, different shades of gray, different shades of white, which turns into gray, right? So that's the only thing that you are allowed to use. Make sure that you're always on the paintbrush tool while using any type of these brushes that you want to use. I mainly use this. I don't care about line width because I'm not drawing digitally. And now this is one thing when it comes to the layers. You know how people draw or color. I'm sorry, how people color and they color not with the black, but underneath the lines of black, right? Now this is pretty tricky because at first I didn't know what was going on. And now I'm self-taught and critter and everything that I do. So you go over here to where it says layers, right? And you go right on top where it says brush presets, and there's a little square over here that has like a plus sign in it. You use that and you immediately create another layer. It says layer two. Now, since you're on layer two, and make sure that you're on layer two and not on layer one, you can also change the name of the layers. I don't mess with that because I already know what I'm doing. But when you're on layer two, go a little bit more up, and it says like layers at the bottom, and it says normal. You click on normal, and you make sure that you go down right under luminosity, and you press multiply. And this way, you get to color underneath the black, meaning you'll color everything else except black. You color in anything that's not black. And let me show you right here what I'm talking about. So let me use this gray and let me start coloring. As you can see, nothing erases because I am coloring underneath the black. The black does not get affected for anything, right? Now let me show you something differently. If I were to erase this and go back to the first layer, which is not under multiply, and I start coloring, look, I color on the black, and the black starts to get erased and everything else with whatever it is that I'm doing. You see? So that's the stuff that was driving me nuts at first that I did not know. But since now you know, you know. Okay, so after you have that down pat, you choose your different shades of gray, and you start adding gray tones to anything to the page of whatever you want. There's different brushes here for you to use. Every brush does something different. Like this is like some star brush and does like little stars. And if you change the color, the color of the stars is going to change as well, right? Um, there's this little circle like bubble brush type thing. I know you can't really see it right now. Why is the size of the brush so little? Okay, yeah. So it's like a bubble brush. If you can see, it makes like these like weird bubbles um, type thing. Okay, now you can see it better. But yeah, it makes like these weird bubbles type situation going around. All right. So yeah, let me start erasing these as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different neat type of stuff like that. I really like this brush because it has like this crazy effect under it, and this is pressure sensitive, meaning if you go light, it would be light. If you press a little bit harder, it gets darker and darker and darker and darker, depending on how hard you're pressing on the situation. Um, a lot of comic users use that to like grayscale their people, their backgrounds, and everything else. You can use it as well. So, okay, after you do this and you create your multiple layers and multiple stuff, let me show you before you even start to grayscale anything. Is I want to show you this. The reason why I have these three marks here and the three marks on the other side of the page is for one reason, and it's because after I go in black and white, that I erase all of the blue. I only draw in a limited space within inside the page. So this helps me to show where I'm supposed to crop the page. So you go over here to this cropping sign over to the left hand side of the critter application, and you press on it, and that's the crop. So what I do is that I zoom in all the way over here. Which, if you're doing which if you're doing it digitally from the start, you don't need to do all of this, right? So I zoom in from over here, and I make sure that I click on this, start to expand on this, and then I make sure that, bam, I get the places that I want to. That should be okay right there. And now we go over here to this side. Oh, where you're going? It's trying to escape from me. Don't escape from me, Yogi. So yeah. Oh man. So yeah. So then you have that down packed. Once you align them there, then you right click, hit crop, and boom, it will crop the page, and you'll have yourself a decent looking manga page. Right. Where is the stuff at? Sometimes it's okay, yeah, right here. So it will look like a manga page, right? And the reason why the paneling is more over to this side and to that side is because this is the left hand page. I do all of my odd numbers as left, all of my even numbers as right, because this right over here is very important when you start planning out your pages. This will be the gutter, right? This will be the gutter, and when I mean the gutter, at least we have a book here. So yeah, let me show you. The gutter is what goes inside of the books, right? That's what goes in. So that's the gutter. This part will go in the book. So you always want to make sure that you want to have your word bubbles away from the gutter. You want to have important art away from the gutter as well, because if you have it close to the gutter, you can mess up a couple of things. You can I've seen a couple of manga books that have like word bubbles going inside of the gutter that you can barely read it. You have to literally bend the book and have a good chance of messing up the spine to actually read one damn word bubble, which makes no sense whatsoever. So yeah, so after you do all of that, I understand it's a long process. After you do everything that you do, let me just erase this. I don't care. So yeah, after you do everything that you do, um, okay, I'm back. So after you do everything that you do, your page should look something like this. Let me see if I can find something. You grayscaled, you did everything else. Then your manga page should be something that looks like this, right? And you'll have something like this, something like this, something like this. And if you did it on a PNG or JPEG file and you wanted to do color, you can color it to make it look something like this or something like this, right? So, yeah, pretty much that's it. That's how you make a manga page from start to finish. If you guys have any questions, anything at all, just make sure that you leave a comment down below. Was this video helpful for you? Leave a comment down below, and yeah, you can save your stuff on Critter if that's what you're using. There's a lot of different programs. There's Adobe, there's Studio Paint Pro, and Clip Studio Paint. I'm sorry, and a whole bunch of other different stuff. Right? I just use Critter because it's free, pretty much easy to understand as well. So yeah. This is your boy Gabi from Slap Punch Enterprise. I'm still working on me the Mumby. I'm just taking a little break for now because I haven't taken a break in months. And yeah, I'll be back and peace out. You already know.